Let's take you to Parliament now and listen to the minority leader addressing a press conference there, challenging the NCA's power to be blocking SIM cards of unregistered Ghanaians who don't have the Ghana card yet.
Celebrated as a shining beacon of democracy, good governance and progress. Commencing in 1994, considerable efforts have been undertaken to improve the nation's telecoms infrastructure and expand access to voice communication, including mobile telephony. By 1998, the first communication policy, Compol 98 conference, was convened, and this culminated in the separation of Ghana Post from Ghana Telecom and the pursuit of foreign investment to rapidly build infrastructure and introduce new technologies. It also placed Ghana in the forefront of the GSM revolution in Africa with a very competitive telecommunications environment. The days continues with the development of the country's optic fiber resources, improved spectrum, telecommunications regulatory, legal and policy enhancement, granting opportunity to embark on a comprehensive ICT for accelerated development and a pervasive application of technology across all sectors, be it in education, health, commerce, environment, governance, and security. So that when you are told yesterday that digitalization only started with one Dr. Baumia and one Oslo Wusu and Nana Addo Dankwa, you will be able to trace the historical antecedents of the evolution in the telecom sector, then led by late Edward Salia, subsequently followed and supported by John Dramani Mahama as minister, who eventually assumed the reins of government as president of the republic.
Yeah.
In recent times, it appears that the success of the communication sector is haunting this government, and members of government are not even placing value on its threat to our democracy and endeavoring to emasculate networks to intimidate subscribers whose freedoms are regularly subjected to database manipulations. Instead of promoting the widespread use of communication services, what is obtaining now is an unnecessary request for registration, re-registration, multiple registration of SIMs for contrived reasons. And I emphasize that registration, re-registration, then we end up with a blockade. They are simply punishing Ghanaians over their own failures and inability to synchronize data between the National Identification Authority and mobile operators in Ghana. That punishment on the Ghanaian citizen remains unjustified, and we in the minority will not sit aloof on the matter. It can be recalled that during the period of COVID-19, so much reliance was placed on ICT usage. In such emergencies, and irrespective of the cybersecurity laws we have in this country, the communications hygiene did not compromise the national identity registration crisis to warrant a blanket blockade of SIM registration. So even under COVID, we lived, and we lived with our SIMs. Indeed, the irony is that in the search for increased revenue to meet the voluptuous appetite of the government, instead of encouraging the usage of mobile communications to promote even their failing e-levy, the government is imposing obstacles to the continuing growth of the telecom sector and with the profitability of the country. The country benefits immensely from its telecom regime. The frustrations in registration of SIMs with telecom companies through third-party private entities and NIA with a different mandate can only be attributed to the repressive tendencies of this government. So you simply cannot understand. Mobile phone operators must register, NIA must register, a private entity comes to play a role. Naturally, everywhere in the world, if you want a SIM card, you register with your mobile phone operator, not through a third-party operator, not through any vehicle. And then you need to work synchronizing the data with National Identification Authority. Many of you were in this country when the chief executive of NIA said that my data is not the same thing as the data that is required to do SIM registration. Yet a poor Ghanaian must be punished with a blockade because of this administrative and institutional failings. The International Telecoms Union actually places premium on emergency telecommunications. To completely cut telecom services to subscribers for no other reason than to limit usage by citizens is the lowest point in a nation's telecoms development. Ghana is not the first country to undertake a SIM registration exercise, but Ghana is the only country you are hearing the chaos in the telecom landscape greeted by their lack of understanding of mobile telephone as an essential emergency tool.